Moses was born in present-day Egypt in 1356 BC, during the time of the Pharaoh. His parents were Imran and Jochebed, and had an older brother named Aaron. The Pharaoh of Egypt was a cruel and oppressive ruler who had enslaved the Israelites. He had also ordered the death of all newborn Israelite boys, fearing that they would one day overthrow him. "There should be no threat to my rule. Kill all the male newborns immediately." Moses' mother, Jochebed, was able to hide him for 3 months. When she could no longer hide him, she placed him in a basket and set him afloat on the Nile River. The basket floated down the river and came to rest near the Pharaoh's palace. The Pharaoh's wife, Asiya, saw the basket and took pity on the child. She took him in and raised him as her own son. Moses grew up in the palace like a prince, but he could never forget his true identity. He knew he was an Israelite. And he also knew that the Pharaoh was oppressing his people. He would often go out into the city and see the suffering of his people. One day, Moses was out in the city when he saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite slave. Moses was filled with anger and struck the Egyptian man with his fist. The man died from the blow, but Moses did not intend to kill him. Moses himself acknowledged he had wronged himself. He asked Allah for forgiveness, and Allah forgave him. He then fled Egypt in fear of being killed by the Pharaoh. He traveled to the land of Midian, where he met a woman named Shukriya. Shukriya took Moses in and gave him shelter. Moses stayed with Shukriya for many years, and during that time he married her daughter, Sapphira. One day, Moses was tending to his flock of sheep in the desert when he came across a strange sight. There was a bush that was on fire, but it was not being consumed by the flames. Moses was curious, so he went closer to investigate. As he got closer, he heard a voice calling to him from the bush. The voice said, "O Moses, it is truly I am your Lord. So take off your sandals, for you are in the sacred valley of Tuwa. It is truly I am Allah. There is no God worthy of worship except me. So worship me alone and establish prayer for my remembrance." Moses was startled. God told Moses that he was chosen as a divine messenger to free the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. Initially hesitant, Moses eventually came to trust God's guidance after witnessing several miracles from God. One of the signs that God gave Moses was his staff. God told Moses to throw his staff on the ground, and when he did, it turned into a snake. Moses was scared, but he picked up the snake by its tail, and it turned back into a staff. Moses prayed to God for guidance and support, and asked permission to have his brother Aaron with him for this mission. God granted his request. Prophet Moses now began one of the most remarkable divine missions in Islamic history.